today we're perfecting the art of the pork chop. How to season and sear them without drying them out, plus the secrets to a side kale that makes eating your veggies a treat. I'm Jeff Philbin, this is Dinner DeeAs. With chops on the menu, we needed an expert in all matters pork. And rush to the roof, flash the pig signal, or the pignal, and if you will, Chad Ward, pitmaster extraordinaire, race to the rescue. Get over here, my man. Come on.
Hey, good to see you,
dude. It's
great
so
to
good to
see
see
you.
you. As the award-winning founder of Whiskey Bent Barbecue, when Chad makes pork, it's usually a whole hog in a smoker. But not everyone has that in their kitchen to be able to do things like that on your Traeger like that. My gosh, man, that is just absolutely beautiful looking right there. How big is that?
That one was like a 65, 70-pound one, just big enough to fit all the way on a Traeger.
And look at the colors on that. That is just a deep mahogany.
I like my furniture like I like my hogs, man.
And I like it in my belly. But that's not what everyone has in their kitchen. We get it. So he shared a scaled-down, perfect pork recipe that anybody can do. His apple butter pork chops with kale salad and green beans. And he's even got tips for getting kale done just right. So I got to ask you for that one, you know, are you going to come out as a vegetarian today on our show?
Man, heck no.
This is not a Dinner DeeAs exclusive. This is not like a whole breaking news.
No.
We get to hear it first.
No, you don't. If it ever was going to come out, I would break it here, but we do not have that fear today.
All right, fine. I guess not that. I thought we were going to have that one. But what we do have is a really, really great spice rub.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So this is, I took my two favorite smoking woods, cherry and pecan.
Yeah.
And an opportunity like this where you can't smoke, I still love those flavors. And on pork, they just sing so well. So you want to give it a little try before we put them on there?
I'd absolutely love to. I'd love to.
Whoop.
There's a sweetness behind it.
Yep. Little brown sugar. It's usually a little more forward in this than it is in most seasonings. But that's kind of where we wanted to go with it. We wanted it to be something playful. You know, there's so many seasonings on the market.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them that are going to be salt forward.
Yes.
Where that's the whole thing going on first. And right here, you just said there's sugar. You're going straight in with brown sugar and cane sugar. Then you're bringing in the salts. Then you're bringing in everything else. You've got the cherry powder, the pecan flour. I mean, that's really
yes,
a powerhouse.
It is. And the one thing about it with what we used, the flavor really stays with it. A lot of times when you have apple flavor and pecan flavor and cherry flavor, and one of the issues is folks, as they cook it, it ends up tending to cook down, so you kind of lose that punch that you get when it's raw. You'll notice when we get done with these, that's not an issue here at all today.
Because most of the time we actually say, hey, go use your favor and everything. Mm-hmm. That might be the one you want to go to first. I'm not going to lie. That one was really, really good. Oh, I like that. I really do love the flavors of that one.
Thank you.
Okay. So we've got a little bit of oil, a little butter going into a cast iron skillet here.
We're just wanting to set up a little bit of a sear here.
Okay.
And it's not going to be that hard sear. You know, it's more of a nice sear, and we're going to put just start the cooking process also.
And you're using oil and butter. Why?
I just like the kind of the contrast. I feel like with the butter or with the oil, I get just a little bit more of a sear than with the butter.
Okay.
And I feel like both of them together is kind of the best of both worlds.
Oh, I love it.
So we'll get that going. And one thing with this too, you want these to be pretty thin chops because we're gonna do about 3 to 4 minutes each side.
Okay.
You don't want to come in there with a huge big tenderloin chop that's gonna take you 15 to 20 minutes. That would be more of a oven and finish method.
And with the sound that I'm hearing with all of that sizzle right now, it's not like it's a screeching hot pan.
Right.
It's hot.
Yes.
But it's not so hot.
To me, it's always about an even cook, right? We want everything to cook through evenly. We don't want to hammer it when it first comes in and then the heat start dying on it, or we just end up overcooking it. I think one of the reasons pork's not used more is people just tend to overcook it a bit.
They're a little afraid of it, but not today. And you shouldn't be either, because if you want to grab Chad's apple butter pork chop recipe for yourself, we have it ready for you on our website, dinnerdeas.com. If you have your phone, just open the camera and zoom in on the QR code in the bottom left corner. So long as it's in photo mode and not video mode, when it recognizes it, a link to us will pop up right on your phone. Okay, so let's keep an eye on these here.
Yep.
What do we need per side here?
We're looking at about 3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes per side over here. Well, we're kind of monitoring what's going on over here. you got some kale.
Yeah, so this is kale that we just cut the ribs out of, chopped up a bit. And to me, when you have something like this and when we're gonna hit it with the apple butter, there's a lot of richness there.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to be able to cut it with something, we got a little acid in here, so let's just talk about it. We've got some oil. We've got some apple cider vinegar, which, are you an apple cider vinegar guy?
I actually drink it.
Oh, yeah, oh yes.
I actually drink it. I suffer from kidney stones quite a bit. And so I have learned that has been something that now I used to make a 50-50 blend, or it used to be like a little bit, then it became a 50-50 blend. Now I'm just drinking apple cider vinegar. So I do love apple cider vinegar quite a bit.
I love it as an ingredient. It's delicious.
Ingredients and in life, it's one of those great things.
And then we've got some maple syrup there. Once again, you want a little contrast in it, but I wanted the maple syrup to kind of come along with the apple butter and tie them together.
Very cool. Warm flavors, but just like it hits you like.
And then a pinch of salt.
Okay.
And then one thing with kale is if you just take and toss this and go put it on the plate, terrible mouthfeel, extra bitter to me.
Without a doubt.
So I just like to get in here now that we got it dressed, and it's lightly dressed. I mean, this isn't something we want pouring off. We really want to enjoy this. And we've got a couple things we're going to add.
And all you're doing here is just massaging it and just kind of just softening it just a little bit, getting a little bit more of that flavor to be able to be imparted in.
The other thing I like about that too is if you find a little rib that you missed, delete it.
So it's a little quality control too.
Yeah, so you can do both at one time.
I absolutely love it.
So that way, I mean, at the end of the day, we want people to have the best eating process possible.
Now, you sit over here for hours massaging
this?
this?
Like 2 to 3 minutes. You can kind of feel when it gives up the ghost.
And all you're just looking for is just for it to just be a little bit darker, that color, so that oil can really kind of penetrate through. That salt and that grittiness helps with that.
Yeah, that's another thing there. That's a key point, is adding that little bit of salt to just kind of get that wilt and get that to open up and take on the flavors we're giving it.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely tender as anything. While we caress our kale, we're taking a break. When we come back, Chad shares his favorite apple butter and how he uses it to make a quick sauce for those pork chops. Ahead, then it is. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where Pitmaster Chad Ward is my guest, making a return visit from Whiskey Bent Barbecue to share a dinner that anyone can make in the comfort of the kitchen with no grill or smoker needed. All the AC, my friend.
Oh,
who wouldn't love that?
Especially
now, I need it. It's apple butter pork chops with a kale salad and green beans. Before the break, we season our pork chops using a custom blend Chad makes. It's called pecanery. It's got pecan and cherry wood flavors right inside that mix and inside that skillet. Now, we normally say use your favorite seasoning, but if you don't have this one's pretty unique, and this one might be something you want. Then we prep the kale for our salad, dressing with olive oil, apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, and salt, then massaging it to break down the tough fibers, which you've done and you continue to do through the break there.
Yes.
So what now is going to happen with it?
We're just going to add in a couple more ingredients. So we got our goat cheese. Definitely, I like that just for the funkiness and gives it a little creaminess.
Oh, absolutely. It's that tang behind the goat cheese, for sure.
Then we got some pecans. I like that for a little crunch element.
Okay.
And then dried cranberries. Keep adding on that little acid kick, plus a little bit more texture. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. This looks fun.
So now I'm going to get in here and just mix it up.
And that's just now going to mix everything, incorporate all those flavors.
And now we can just kind of let that chill for a few.
Okay, well,
let's give it a test.
We'll go in for a little
let's give it a little bite, see if it needs anything else. I got one for you,
All right. I'm going right there. Dig right in. I got cranberry. I got a little bit.
I'm good with it. I don't think it needs any more salt, any more.
That's perfect.
Okay, excellent.
Great.
And I think it's going to really, when we form it with the pork chop, and you're gonna have all that sweet and savory, and then you get that right there. I think it's gonna be that nice palate cleanser.
Totally.
To enjoy that next bite.
I absolutely love that. All right, pork chops. How are these doing over here?
Oh, these are.
I mean, look at the colors on that.
Tell you what, if these are wrong, I don't want to be right, old boy. Let's go here first.
So we're taking them out of our skillet here, and then we're just gonna.
I'm gonna give them a tent.
Okay.
You don't want to foil this hard because we don't want to keep heavily cooking it, but we want to keep them warm.
Okay.
So while we have that going, let's go ahead and get our glaze rolling.
Okay.
So we've got some Dijon mustard. Actually, will you drop that down?
I will.
About half. Mm-hmm. And then we have our thyme that we'll get in there.
Okay.
Little Vinegar, yeah.
Getting a little apple
I was like
vinegar
getting a
in it?
little hit there. And then our apple butter.
Apple butter.
Yes, sir. To me, I grew up on the old White House apple butter,
Okay.
and I love it. So that's what we're going to be
If it's
using.
not broken, don't fix it. You grew up on this one. It
Yes,
hits with
sir.
nostalgia. It hits with all the flavors you want.
Makes mama happy.
And that's always a plus, too.
Yes. So we'll just get that mixed up. Obviously, getting that beautiful pork juice in there, some of our residual
Man.
oil, and
And you get that hit right there. You got that apple cider vinegar that just kind of activated that mustard. I can't wait to see how this all comes together.
yeah, and we're just going to kind of let that do its thing and cook down, because we're going to finish our pork in that. And then, just to get double points with Mom, we're doing 2 greens today.
Whoa. You got 2 greens on here?
2 greens
All right,
today.
Mama's going to be happy because what do we got over here?
So we've just got our green beans.
Okay.
We're just going to give those a quick blanch.
Okay. A little salt going in there, too?
Oh, I'll take a little more salt in there. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Thank you. And we'll get those in there.
To grab Chad's recipe for these apple butter pork chops, go to dinnerdeals.com. Just scan the QR code on the corner of the screen to find us.
All right. And then we can give that 2-3 minutes.
And that's all it's going to take for that blanching for that first step right over here.
Yes, sir. And then we're going to finish those with a little bit of butter and garlic and some toasted almonds. So we'll get our almonds toasting here for a few. And
that's it. We're just trying to get them just nice and toasty.
yes, add a little more comfort and warmth to the dish, if you will.
Come on now. Time for us to take another quick break. When we come back, we make the sum of all these pork parts ahead. Get the deal. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, where a master of all matters meat is sharing an idea for dinner for pork chops done right. Pitmaster Chad Ward is back with us from Lakeland's Whiskey Bent Barbecue and sharing how he does his apple butter pork chops. Before the break, we finished up our kale salad, adding goat cheese, pecans, and cranberries, then took our pork chops out of the pan to rest under foil. Then used the same pan and the juices to make a glaze with Dijon mustard, thyme, apple cider vinegar, and apple butter. Then got green beans cooking in boiling salted water, and finally heated some sliced almonds into a dry pan. Now the green beans, think they'll go ready now?
I think those babies are ready to go. They have blanched, which for anybody out there that's curious, I mean, the reason we want to blanch is these are pretty fibrous, so just cooking them in the pan, we're not going to get those cooked through, and it's going to be a little bit tough. So we want to get those blanched, and now we'll get them in a cold ice bath to help stop the cooking process. So we'll let those hang there. I got a couple stragglers here.
Now, you don't trim your green beans.
That's the lazy man in me.
See, sometimes I don't want to do it either. I just like, get the bag, just go.
Yes. Yeah, to me, it was just kind of like, I don't need to cut all these.
So if anyone's at home going like, oh, it's rustic, it's good. It still tastes the same.
Yes.
It still tastes the same.
I feel like you get a little more bang for your buck with them ends on there, old boy.
And every dollar counts, my man. All right.
We've got our toasted almonds here. We're just gonna pull off. That's gonna be for our dish when we throw it together. And now to keep this butter train moving, or this green bean train moving, a little butter and a little minced garlic.
I'd hop on that butter train.
Oh, always.
Toot toot.
Yep. We're just gonna
who would you be the conductor of that one? Like you want the conductor hat for that one?
I do. Okay. I do. The only one that I'll give that one up for is the beef train.
The beef train?
Yeah, you know.
All on the beef train.
Yep, because then I can just take beef fat and you kind of create your own butter, if you will. You know.
A little tallow.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
All right. I think we're onto something over here.
Yes, sir. I dig it.
I think we just are onto something over here. All right, so we're gonna melt some butter and the garlic over here.
Yep. Just gonna let that come up, and then once we get this melted down, we're just gonna add our green beans in. Actually, I think I can go ahead and
To grab Chad's recipe for these apple butter pork chops, the kale salad, and the green beans, go to dinnerdiaz.com or follow along right on your phone by scanning the QR code down there to find us. Yeah, that just already looks exciting right there. You know what I mean? Like green beans, it's worth having that extra veg on the plate.
Yes.
Mom's gonna be really happy.
Yeah, you know, I figure we get some bonus points here. All right.
All right, so since we got some of the cook already done, and we shocked them inside the ice bath to stop that cooking process, and now we're just really kind of getting a nice little sear and heating our butter with our garlic now. How long should this cook for?
This is going to be 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, our green beans are pretty well there from the blanch.
Okay.
And so now at this point, we're just trying to meld some flavors together, finish them the rest away, and like you said, you know, give them a little bit of texture with a sear, a little bit of the warm pan.
Very nice.
So I think we're just going to let those chill out for a few.
All right.
And now we'll come back over here to our pork chops. Our glaze has just been hanging out, working together. I dig it.
Now, is this the consistency that you like?
Yes, because now we're gonna take and just spoon it over our chops here.
Okay.
Right about now.
As if a really good pork chop didn't need anything more. You're just hitting it now with just this apple butter.
You know, I feel like a northern pork chop would have stopped by now, but a southern one just needs to keep going a little bit.
Yeah, you know, because like, you know, they just had to be friends over here. Oh, look at that, and it's gonna get just that little bit.
Yeah, let me know what you think about that glaze.
Let's go for that right there. Damn, dude.
Dig it?
I do, because you're like, the apple butter's got already that sweetness behind it. It's got that movement on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth, that apple cider vinegar, that mustard, accentuates everything.
Pop.
And it pops.
Yes.
It pops.
No, I love that. And then that's the thing to think about when even simple cooking like this, we want to we want to think about those flavors that elevate everything. And Dijon and apple cider vinegar to me in this dish were key.
They go together.
Yep.
They absolutely go together.
Very complimentary.
Very, very nicely done, my man.
Thank
And
you.
if you make this for your dinner, we want to know. Email dinnerdeas@fox.com with any of your photos or your questions that you may have, and that's what Jonathan did. He said, I watch your show every day and really enjoy the different cooking segments. My question is regarding the cast iron pan. Can you please help me with the proper steps to maintaining the iron and keeping it non-stick? Thank you. That's a great question.
Absolutely.
I mean, because there's sugars that are inside this entire dish over here, and you could see all of it starting to cook and really, you know, form a glaze.
Yes.
I mean, how you clean this?
Well, you know, for me, I always start with, you know, just basic, little bit of just water and a towel if you can, and then if you have some real issues, you know, a little chainmail never hurt. You know what I mean? Just to kind of break it loose.
Yeah. So you got this to kind of loosen up everything. Now, this is the controversial part. I'm on one side of the fence. Maybe you're on that side of the fence with me. Soap, yay or nay?
I'm a nay soap guy.
Okay.
But it also depends. Like, I'm not hard and fast. Like, if that thing needs a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of soap to go with your water's not going to kill it, you know? Especially if you're going to do what you should do, which is oil it up really, really well afterwards.
What do you like to season yours with?
I use avocado oil because it's got kind of a high heat point, so I prefer that. How about you?
I like to use the avocado oil, or I've been really into some bacon grease right now.
Oh, yeah.
I've been using bacon grease quite a bit. I do use a little bit of soap. I will just use a little bit of soap, and you're not trying to soak it.
No.
But just a little bit can go a long way.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, for people to think about is if you haven't used it in a while, you may need to season it. You know, keep an eye on your cast iron if you're not using it regularly.
Totally. Jonathan, I really hope that this helps you. One last break, and we'll soon be cleaning this pan ourselves because dinner is nearly done. We plate it all up when we come back ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz, where my guest is a pit master who we've dragged away from his pit and his grills and his smoker, and we've made him work with just a stovetop. But he still knocked it out of the park. Chad Ward is from Whiskey Bent Barbecue and has been sharing a recipe for his apple butter pork chop with kale salad and green beans. Before the break, we got our green beans out of the hot water and onto the ice. Well, we got the almonds out of the pan and heated butter and garlic, then added back the green beans. We got our pork chops back into the skillet. That glaze, both sides. I mean, those things look beautiful.
Thank you.
And we've got another rub coming in here, some more spices. What do we got here?
So this is the rocks. So this is kind of our savory. It goes really well on beef, really well on green vegetables. Got a little chunk to it, so we'll have a little bit of a contrast and texture too.
Nice. So those are going straight onto our green beans over here.
Give it a little hit, and then we've got our toasted almonds that we will get in here, and then nothing wrong with a little fresh lemon.
Oh, love it, love it, love it.
All right, and then we can go ahead and start plating. I always like to start protein first.
Okay.
So that way,
we get the good stuff right on the plate.
Exactly.
And then we make mom happy afterwards because then she's like really noticing, like, oh, so you went for the, the 2 pork chops over there, huh?
So you sit there and you go, okay, what real estate now do we have to work with for the other stuff?
The other the stuff to make mom happy.
Yeah. Let's go with nice.
Oh, look at that.
Little serving of green beans there.
You know what's really great about this dish too? I'm looking and noticing. It's very carb light.
Yes, it is.
There is like just protein, vegetables. I mean, this is something where it's just like, okay.
I know, anybody that I went to college with is not going to believe I did this. They're going to be like, Jeff did that and you stood behind it, damn it.
Not at all. Not at all. It was all you because like, look at how beautiful this is. And
Thank you.
This is bringing so many different flavors from the outside, but to the inside.
Yes.
The pecanery, the rocks now, and still a great protein in pork.
Well, thank you. Now, let's get down to the real deal.
Can't wait to it. Thanks to Chad Ward. Grab his recipe for this delicious idea for dinner at our website, dinnerdeas.com, where we also have a link to Whiskey Bent Barbecue for all your seasoning needs. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching. See you next time for more ideas for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Diaz.